Hey everybody, it's Ryder Dude. Blue Collar Blitz is going to be reviewing a bunch of tanks to check out the difference between the pre 3.9 configuration and the post 3.9 configuration. I started out in supremacy mode in this video for some reason. I was probably trying to do a mission or something. Two people immediately called A. I typically go to the hills, but I figured I would go take a look. At this point, I was watching the action develop in front of me. The vehicle felt just as heavy and clumsy and awkward as it did in the pre 3.8, 3.9 configuration. One of the things that I really like about the E100 is that it just feels like a block of steel. But I wasn't able to reliably get an angle on anything. I just felt like I was way behind the action, just unable to do anything. I'm just basically staring at the back of the mouse here. That's just ridiculous. Anyway, so I didn't feel like the accuracy was good when the mouse finished that WT. I actually decided that I would go ahead and run down here to B because I wanted to support the rest of the team. The mouse obviously was doing a good job, but I just wasn't able to get an angle on anything. It was kind of crazy. So the thing that I was running into was every time that I felt like I had a target or could aim at something, I wasn't able to, for whatever reason, I wasn't able to get the aiming reticle to get to be small enough that I felt like I could hit what I was aiming at. I really don't feel like this was a good change. I did finish off that E4 there. That was I'm sure that he was unhappy. He pitched a little bit of salt here. Why me, stupids? Okay. Now, this was an interesting experience. I came over here. Now, for whatever reason, T-30s always destroy my Tier 10 heavies. But this time, I came out with the T-30, and he didn't do anything to me. I mean, I was bouncing shots. I was wiggling back and forth. I was doing everything everything that I've read that I need to do. I'm not really that good with Tier 10 tanks. Trying to find a target, trying to find someplace to shoot, something to shoot. Of course, I'm not doing any damage to him either. But I actually found myself really reassured by this experience. I think because I think that the E100 has the armor modification, I think that I actually have just enough extra armor that I can reliably bounce shots. So of course the mouse comes in and finishes them off, and we hit 1,000 points in supremacy, so we called it. It's done. I started looking around and thinking about how that game went. I only did 1,800 damage. Nobody's going to think that I'm Unicum or super crazy about this, but I was surprised that I bounced more shots than penetrated, and I don't know. Maybe that little armor buff is enough. I only got 4 shots off in the whole round. Landed 3 of them, but I don't feel like the accuracy is very good with the E100. In this run, I was on dead rail. I typically go up to the hills behind cap. I really don't like going valley here. I just wind up going out there and getting swarmed and killed. So, of course, I call I call A here. I think it's A. No, it's C up in the hills. So I called C, and then all the heavies decided to run down to A, and I was just I figured what I would do is head for C and just watch to see if anything showed up at B. Sure enough, I was rolling toward C, and the biggest decision maker for me here is if the mediums go to B, then they're probably not going to go to C. And boom, there's the leopard showing up down at B. So I decided I'd run down there and interact with the leopard. Now, I shot there, and it called out that it was a critical hit, but I didn't do any damage, and I didn't track the leopard. This is a vehicle with no side armor, and I didn't even track him. So anyway, I was surprised. Rolled out here, he backed right into me. Boom, ghost shell. The ghost shell from 100 yards away just disappeared, and anyway. So one of the other guys on my team killed him, so I'm fine with it. But again, this ghost shells thing is just a real pain. I did manage to land a shot on this Leopard 1. My goal now was I wanted to cap B, and I wanted to see what was going on. The RE4 just ammo wrecked that guy, which was funny. He got ammo racked with no salt, so that's a sign of maturity. Never a bad thing. I saw the Leopard over on the far side of this shack, so I rolled over, took a quick look down to see if the rest of the team was doing okay, and boom, he was there, and boom, there. So one of the fun things about people running away, folks, don't run away in a straight line. Zigzags, something, do something. Go in a big curve. Otherwise, people will just line you up and take you out. So in any case, I was feeling a lot more confident because the vehicle it felt very normal to me. I was enjoying playing the E100, and I never really enjoyed playing the E100 back in the good old days. So again, part of the objective here was just to test out the difference between the vehicles before and after, and 2 battles in a row, I felt like I was chasing the battle, felt like I wasn't really making the progress that I wanted to make, but they were both wins. I'll take a 7-2 and a 7-1 win anytime. I did more damage this time. I did a lot of assist damage, probably because my ghost round, I'm irritated by that anyway. So in this case, the fact that I kept them spotted, I think, made a big difference. This last one is interesting because, again, it was supremacy. Sorry, I didn't turn that off. But I was really surprised to see the way that this battle played out. So I prefer to go to Temple on the Temple map, and I called A in this case. And again, I don't know what the story is. Nobody said a thing. Nobody responded or affirmed or anything. But the whole team started rolling to A. I got a confirmation here. This guy needs to learn to drive. It does drive me crazy. People, if you're driving, pay attention to the tanks around you, because if you wind up scraping tracks with somebody, especially a big old tank like the E100, they lose a lot of momentum when they have to throw on the brakes or take off the gas. So watch where you're driving. Anyway, so I was watching the faster tanks roll in front of me. I saw one of them land over on A and start capping. Actually, one of them was over on B2 capping, but I figured I'll go ahead and just let the cappers cap. What I really wanted to do was get to a firing position, because I felt so stupid after that round where I was basically staring up the tailpipe of that stupid mouse and just really missed a lot of shots. So I did see the WT blow up here, which was kind of frustrating. I noticed that A and C were capped. The guys that went to B, I think, got blown up, so that was kind of a bummer. Now, I looked over here to the right. At this point, I just got that first shot from the E50M. I figured it would be a really, really good thing for me to shoot back and waste this gigantic long reload round on a concrete pillar, because that's the way I roll. But I did watch the way that the team was handling these other guys. Watch the damage keep rolling in, and really all I wanted to do was make sure that we weren't getting ourselves into a weird position. Just trying to maintain the damage. Just trying to maintain the win and lost status. At this point, I was getting a little frustrated actually, because I'm down about half my health. I don't think, except for that one shot on the side of the IS-7, I really hadn't done anything. Boom, blew up that one. He was already really badly damaged, and he didn't know any better. So I watched the two mediums running behind the temple here, watching my thing reload, I wasn't able to get a shot on either of them. So I figured I'd go right and do some and try to support as well I could. You can see the bounces coming in here. I didn't take any damage at all. I gave my side armor to basically half their team, and it was just bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay, I'll take it. Now in this case, because I was so, you can see the bloom on the reticle there, and I was so anxious about not being able to hit with this gun that I actually held the target a lot longer than I should have. That was, again, weak play, but that was one of those moments where yeah, I was happy to take out the tank, and at the same time, I with a faster um, with a faster aim, I would have been fine. This was just dumb. I have no idea why I drove into the side of a tank. That was just that was just silly. In any case, um, for whatever reason, I was bouncing in here. Saw the E50, wanted to save the IS-7, and he sure enough took a shot and died. Was able to finish the E50, but then this grill just drove right by me. I don't know what. I mean, was he tunneled? I'm not sure what he was thinking, but he just drove straight through, and of course I wasn't able to reload before my teammate took him. Now the last player here is that Sparta E50M, unbelievable, just a really good player. Look, he's barely taken any damage. He's in a good position. I was thinking, at this point, I was thinking, you know what? I'll try to cap B and see what's going on. I noticed the supremacy counter up at the top was actually telling us that I don't know, red's winning. Not sure why I tried to shoot through the bridge rail here. That was stupid. But anyway, I did take a shot, but that's fine. I'm at this point, all I'm trying to do is not die, because the timer's in our favor, and of course I wasted a shot there. That was foolish. But all I was really trying to do was run out the clock at this point, and me and that Sparta player were the only ones left. He would have finished me with more time, but honestly, it was a good round. We won it. So anyway, what's the difference? What's the difference before and after 3.8 and 3.9? Truthfully, I didn't play at all under. Well, no, that's not really true. I played about 10 rounds in 3.8. And I've played a few dozen rounds in 3.9. The thing for me though is that I wanted the new equipment to work better, and it just doesn't. I feel awkward, and I feel like I can't really aim properly with this tank, and frankly, you know what? I bounced a lot of shots. That 5% armor buff makes a gigantic difference for a tank like the E100. So, I guess my in the grand scheme of things, I would love to say that I'm just like some kind of super genius, unicum, winning 3 out of 4 rounds. But this was just a kind of a strange experience. So, anyway, that's it. This is Ryder Dude out. Have a great day.